of us who were on the right side of this had to listen to people talk about him trying to buy NBC and all the conspiracy theories. But what people don't want to grapple with is the reality that while we have a horrific history in this country of black men of sexual violence being weaponized against black men, we know that, right? From Emmett Till to Brian Banks, we have seen this over and over and over again. That's not who Bill Cosby is.
Hey yo, it is your girl Flo back again with another video. And if you're new here, hi. I hope you subscribe. So as we all know, Bill Cosby was released from prison yesterday after a Supreme Court overturned the conviction. Yesterday was the 30th of June, 2021. He was released after the Pennsylvania Supreme Court overturned his conviction. So there was a total of 60 women that accused Bill Cosby, 60 as in the number after 59, that had accused him. And these accusations ran all the way back from the 1960s all the way up until 2018 when he got locked up. So I got on here Dr. Brittney Cooper. She's a professor from Rutgers University. And Tarana Burke, who's the founder of the Me Too movement. I have them on here. They're going to share their thoughts on his release. And then after their discussion, I'll be back with my commentary. So without further ado, let's go.
Look, I am appalled. I think that this is a setback for survivors. I believe the women who accused Bill Cosby. And I think that they deserve justice. And I think that that's the conversation we should be having. I'm deeply disturbed by any narrative in the Black community that says that, like, look, Bill Cosby built the latter part of his career really after the 2000s. He built his career by shaming poor Black folks. And so now to have to listen to analyses that say things like, well, he needs to be let out on this technicality because Black folks get railroaded in the prison system. Those are the very Black men and Black women that he spent his career demonizing while he was the one that was going around, acting in concert with the worst stereotypes that white people have made up about who Black men are. And I would appeal to Black men who keep on trying to defend Cosby to say, look, he's part of the problem for you. He is part of the reason that white people feel emboldened in these stereotypes about violent Black men who want to rape white women. Because while other Black men were lynched and unfairly railroaded, he used the cloak of his power and his visibility to go around and actually harm white women, meaning while pretending to be an upstanding gentleman, right? And shaming Black folks who could not participate in that kind of middle class fantasy. And so he doesn't deserve any mercy from Black communities. He doesn't deserve the absolution of our narrative about white supremacy. He's a violent, self-admitted rapist who drugged women and raped them, had sex with them without their consent, which is rape. And that is the only conversation that we should be having.
Listen, I completely agree. It is all I could think about were the survivors today and what they must be feeling and how gut-wrenching it is. People have to know that very few people who survive sexual violence in this country see any kind of recourse. No matter what you believe, whether you believe in the legal system or not, this 1% of all rape cases actually see conviction. Rape cases that actually go to trial see conviction. 1%. So it's very, very rare to see anybody go to jail for committing sexual assault. So it's it was really disheartening, mostly to see the comments from people and to see Black people celebrating this like a victory. This is not a victory. In fact, even if you are of the belief that Bill Cosby shouldn't be in jail, right? Whether you're an abolitionist or you just got ashy politics, if you believe Bill Cosby shouldn't be in jail, that's one thing. But to celebrate victory for Black people is just wrong. It's wrong. We can both say, fine, I want him to come out, or it's time for him to come home, if that's your belief, and say he is guilty, absolutely, unquestionably guilty of raping, sexually assaulting women, many of those women who are Black women.
Okay, so real quick. So Felicia Rashad put out a tweet that said, a terrible wrong is being righted, right? So she put out a tweet that said a terrible wrong is being righted. And then right after that, her employer, Howard University, they put out a statement saying that it does prioritize and support sexual assault survivors. And they also said that personal statements from Howard staff do not reflect the university's policies. So once they put that out, then Felicia Rashad puts another tweet. And here's the tweet right here that she put out. So she's backtracking right there, basically. And then, so that's it right there. And then, so, the university had another statement that says, while Dean Rashad, because they had hired her, in case some of y'all don't know, Howard University hired Felicia Rashad just this past May. They just hired her in May. And what she does there is she's the dean of the College of Fine Arts. So they just hired her in May, and she's the new dean of College of Fine Arts there at Howard University. So after she puts this tweet out right here, the university had said, while Dean Rashad has acknowledged in her follow-up tweet that victims must be heard and believed, her initial tweet lacked sensitivity towards survivors of sexual assault.
Yeah, I don't think we have to be in Felicia Rashad's head to understand why she said what she said. I think that it's reflective of a lot of people, both of her age group, but just a lot of Black folks in general. You know, there was the whole conspiracy for years. Those of us who were on the right side of this had to listen to people talk about him trying to buy NBC and all the conspiracy theories. But what people don't want to grapple with is the reality that while we have a horrific history in this country of Black men of sexual violence being weaponized against Black men. We know that, right? From Emmett Till to Brian Banks. We have seen this over and over and over again. That's not who Bill Cosby is. And the thing that, to your point, Dr. Cooper, the thing that we don't contend with while we're always talking about that part is that Black women have the second highest rate of sexual violence experience in this country. So we can't talk about one without talking about the other. And what Felicia Rashad is doing in that tweet is exactly that, right? It's the thing that people always do. They talk about the miscarriage of justice and how Black men are being lynched and how Black men are being hung out to dry. But when this is happening to Black women at exponential rates, we don't hear anything about that. So I wasn't surprised. I was appalled, but I wasn't surprised.
Bill Cosby, a free man, a man that has been accused by 60 different women from the 1960s until 2018 when he got locked up. Has justice been served? Has he done enough time in prison? Do you feel bad that he's an old man? Bryan Stevenson once said, our criminal justice system treats you better if you are rich and guilty than if you are poor and innocent. Until next time, subscribe, stay in the know. Peace.